One of my superpowers and weaknesses is my impatience. And so, I didn't want to wait to save up 20% to purchase a home. And so I really took to heart that whole term of find the ugliest house in the nicest neighborhood, and essentially found a home and was able to figure out how could I put 5% down on that home, understanding that over time I would be able to increase that value. And also understanding I would have PMI, so the mortgage insurance that they had, with the mission of how could I push enough value in this home to eventually drop that off.
Yeah, you can buy homes as little as 3.5, 5%, and you have a PMI, but guess what? You have locked in the value of that real estate, right? At that price point. Now you have a PMI, however, it can, when it appreciates on the total value. So that PMI is kind of negligible. And as Joe mentioned, if you can push up the value, which we'll hear from him how he did that, then you can refi it and get out of that PMI pretty quick. So what was your strategy, Joe, there?
Yeah. So, when I purchased this home, as I mentioned, it was, the not the nicest home in this really nice neighborhood, and it had a lot of cosmetic things. Me personally, one thing that I wish I did better is pay attention to my dad as we went to Home Depot all the time and he did house projects. But, for me, the basics where I could paint, and I could demo stuff. And so this house was really more cosmetic updates. And as I purchased that home, what I identified was that had great bones. And so by making changes, like painting the outside, putting new windows in, putting a new roof in, doing hardscaping, I learned that skill of one, working with contractors, but two, understanding how that could appreciate the value of the home. Now, when I purchased the home, I closed on December 19th, 2019. And we all know, 3 months later, the world essentially shut down and then real estate essentially changed. So it was a combination of finding a good deal at the right time and then essentially the market really changing. And that's when the whole interest rates dropped and home value started increasing. So that was definitely on my side, as far as timing.